folks, my name is Chef Cicely and I'm joining you here from the Divine Cafe at the Springs Preserve. Today we are going to be making a lovely sweet dish that can either go two ways. It could be a wonderful dessert or it could even be enjoyed in the morning for breakfast. So what I've got going on here is first some honey, some syrup, maple syrup, pure maple syrup, and some water. I'm going to combine all of these in a pot and then we're going to be poaching some pears. So we're making maple poached pears. So let's go ahead and get our poaching liquid started. Just simply scraping off that honey into our pot with our maple syrup. And then I'm going to dilute it with a little bit of water. Now when they make maple syrup, they actually take the sap out of the trees and then reduce it quite a bit to get the texture of maple syrup that we have. So I'm taking it a step backwards, mixing water back into it. But what that's going to do is allow me to actually make a real poach. So to poach something means to cook it in a liquid solution. And I'm not going to serve it with the liquid solution until I reduce it. So it is not considered like a soup or a stew. So I'm going to put this on the stovetop and let it begin to heat up and get our pears ready. So what I have here are Asian pears. And these are a unique variety of pear where they have a similar shape and also texture to an apple, but the sweetness and the softness, the sort of more characteristic texture of a pear. And that's just what was in season for us right now, and they tend to take quite well to poaching. So all I'm going to do is just simply skin these, slice them up, remove the core, and they'll be ready to poach. Now I could use regular pears for this, and I do love doing that also. In fact, it's a wonderful dish to do any time of year because pears are always unripe when you buy them typically. Pears are a unique fruit. They have to ripen off of the tree instead of on the tree. So they get harvested about 3 to 4 times a year. And depending on when you buy them, they could be hard as a rock. You test the stems to see if they are ripe. That's where the softness is. And then if they're not ripe and they're nowhere near being ripe, poaching them is a great way to break down the starch in that fruit, to open up the sweet flavor, and to allow you to still enjoy a fruity light dessert or breakfast, even if what we have available is out of season. I've got some other ones that I've already skinned and cored. Those are going to go into our poaching liquid. They will cook down till they're fork tender for about 20 minutes. Then we'll reduce the sauce and we will be ready to serve them. I've got my poaching liquid here, my maple syrup, diluted maple syrup, and honey. I'm going to go ahead and put my pears in. Make sure they're all nicely covered, coated with my mixture, and just let those continue to cook down. It'll be about 20 minutes until they are what is considered fork tender. Now I've got a pot over here that's been going for a while, so I'm going to scoot this one back. Just adjust the burners. And these pears are definitely done. So with fork tender, once I put the fork in, it goes in nice and easy, but here's the trick. It not only goes in nice and easy, but it comes out nice and easy. These guys are all done. I'm going to pull them out and let them cool. Because the way that I want to serve this particular dish is over some vanilla yogurt. So I want them nice and cooled off. I could serve them also piping hot over maybe some ice cream. But that's not where we're going today. We're doing a breakfast style dish. So I'm going to let this cool down. And with this now maple syrup and honey reduction, The sauce has actually pulled out some of the juice of the pear and mixed that in with the syrup, mixed that in with the honey. So I want to let that reduce to a nice glaze to drizzle over the top. I'm actually going to let it come back to the consistency of maple syrup and then even go beyond that, reducing a bit more. And I've got one that's been going for about maybe an additional 20 minutes. And we can see here it's nice and thick, beautiful sauce. And I can tell it's where I want because it actually coats the spoon. The pears are done and we are ready to make our breakfast. So what I've got here is just some simple vanilla yogurt. I spoon a nice amount of that into a bowl. I'm going to take my poached pears. I'd like to leave one whole one and take another one and just give it a little slice, maybe fan it out a bit. So slicing about a 1/4 inch from the edge so that part of it's still connected, and then laying it out over the top. I have my nice reduced maple syrup and honey glaze. Take a little bit of that and just give it a nice drizzle over the top. And then for a little bit of flavor and also color, because we do always eat with our eyes first, I want to give it some aroma of fresh mint. And then I also have some very, very thinly sliced lemon, just to give it a little touch of acidity. Fan that over the top. It looks beautiful to me, but I have one more just touch I want to add, and that is freshly grated nutmeg. And oh, there is nothing that quite tops the scent and the flavor of that. Touch over the top, just a little dusting with a microplaner will do the trick. And there we have it. Maple poached pears over vanilla yogurt with a touch of nutmeg, mint, and lemon. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Chef Cicely here at the Springs Preserve in the Divine Cafe. We hope to see you here.